Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Welcome everybody, guys. Let's take a look at the gold market. Here we have the setup that very similar to the euro currency. So actually the major scenario, the issue that we have discussed in last week, is mostly stand in relation to possible deep retracement down. Because currently this rally that we have in market stands with in the last 3 weeks. So you can see it has started right from the 1120 area and this happened even in the end of the last year. So today is the third week in a row and the market stands in upward direction. This rally has a lot of questions. First of all, this rally is not confirmed and supported by the real purchases in the market. We have talked about it, and previously, if you remember our trading and analysis last week, 3-4 times in last year, 3-4 times in the last year, we also saw the same setup when the market at the first glance shows some rally, but in reality there's no purchases stand behind of this rally, and after the short-term period market has failed with this rally and dropped further. That's why we think that current rally is not quite reliable yet, so maybe the situation could change in the nearest future if we will see the real support from the real money cash flows inside in SPDR fund. If we see the changing the situation on the Commitment of Traders report, we could change our opinion with these rallies. Maybe this indeed will take place, will take the shape of the real upward trend. But right now we still have some questions and we are doubt about this action. So this is what we have around the sentiment of this upward action. But from the technical point of view, we also have some questions to this rally. So because market stands in the strong downward action, so downward momentum is really significant here. And price behavior on any market has momentum. So it means that by some inertia, market will show some downward action. Following the natural pressure of this previous drop and trying to follow this previous momentum. That's why we think that market could and should show deep retracement here. At least the odds suggest that this could happen. Today we're starting from the weekly chart of the gold, because here was formed a very important pattern, and this pattern is bearish grabber. So you can see market has tested MACD predictor line but closed below it, and this is bearish pattern. Theoretically, this pattern suggests the taking out of these lows. The same pattern we have on the euro currency. So that's why until market will not erase this pattern, it's very difficult to take any long positions in general, to speak about taking the long position. So on the coming week, we mostly will be watching how market will react on the appearing of this pattern and what will happen on the resistance on the daily chart when the market stands. Because we think that next week could become really the turning week, and when the market really could start this downward action that we have talked about in the last week, the previous week. So since market has completed all intraday targets, it has reached very important levels. That's why combining the sentiment, combining the technical picture that we have, it seems that the current situation is very suitable for starting of downward deep retracement. So on the weekly chart, as you can see, we have the bearish pattern. Now on the daily chart, take a look that this pattern has been formed right at the confidence resistance on the daily chart, 1190-1204 area. It's also, so that includes the yearly pivot point that has been tested by the market already. Okay, that's also daily overbought, as you can see. So rather strong resistance area. This is one important thing, first important thing here. The second important thing, take a look, if I will increase the scale a bit, you will see that this upward action is not really small, It just seems small in comparison with this drop, and it seems that's too small. But in general, if you'll take a look at it, you could see that it's not really small, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bars to the upside. And it's suitable for the Jordan application. So we can't exclude that maybe the downward action also on the daily chart could take the shape of some Jordan application. Maybe it should be double ripple sell or something like that. It's also possible. On the intraday charts, guys, we do not have yet the clear bearish patterns because it's too few time has passed since the market has reached 1204 area. But what we have, here you could see that the market has completed this A, B, C bottom 1618 target. We have talked in details about this pattern on Friday and shows downward action. But right now, as you can see, it hasn't broken yet the upward tendency. So market still stands in a sequence of higher bottoms and higher tops. That's why currently it's very difficult to talk on the downward targets or something of that sort, because this tendency is still valid. So first, a moment that we need to watch for on the intraday charts is to see the breaking of this tendency. So market should drop below the previous lows and drop this tendency of high lows. That will be first sign of the possible reversal. And first destination point that market could reach, it seems that's an area around 1174, 1170, because take a look, here we have confidence support on the forward time frame chart. We have weekly pivot support one at the same area, okay? And as we have talked about it on the hourly chart, it could become, take the shape some kind of the hand shoulders or something of that sort. So this could become, for example, left shoulder and head. Maybe this will be some kind of the right shoulder will be formed. So in other words, we need to get the pattern. It will be just perfect if the market will form some pattern here. But first, until pattern will not be formed, we will be watching for other bearish signs. So as I said, this is breakout of this channel, dropping and erasing of this breaking of this tendency of high lows and high highs, and reaching that support area. That probably will become the first sign that market is ready to show deeper retracement down, and that bearish grabber on the weekly chart is starting to work. That's what we'll be watching for here. Since, as you can see, all these moments come on the same time, so I mean, the sentiment mismatch with the current rally, so we did not see any inflows in this pair of fund and so on. So reaching of the important targets on the intraday charts and significant resistance, and appearing on the weekly reversal pattern, all these moments stands at the same time, and that's why we think that next week probably has all chance to become some kind of the reversal week. So when the market starts this downward retracement, that's what we'll be watching for. As soon as we will get some bearish patterns here, we could discuss the possible taking some positions, depending on what patterns we will get and what targets we will estimate based on these patterns. So that's our current view on the gold market, and it seems that the next week indeed promising to be really interesting.